Are you really feeling ready to live in this higher frequency, but you're not exactly sure what that looks like? Well, today I'm bringing in some guidance from my spirit teachers in the subtle realms, the emissaries of the third ray, second octave of love. And my primary guide is Joachim, who has much to bring forward from the teachers and how we can begin to live daily lives that really carry the frequency of the fifth dimension. If you're new to my channel, I believe your spirit brought you here, your inner guidance, and I'm really grateful to see you. I hope you find something super valuable. And if you've been a member of my community, I'm so grateful that you're here. It's growing. We are expanding, and your presence and your energy make a huge difference. So believe it and know how much I'm grateful for it. Now, the big question that keeps coming up from my followers and from my students who read my books and from people who are part of my Vibe Tribe, the Good Vibe Tribe community that I host and created for everybody is, okay, well, we're in the fifth dimension. We hear about it. We're feeling it. There's tremendous downloads about this. Our consciousness is changing. But what do I do after I wake up in the morning? How does this look hour to hour through the day? And so I want to give you some fifth dimension examples of how you would do something differently. The first thing that Joachim and the emissaries suggest is to reintroduce into your life ritual. And it doesn't have to be rituals that you've inherited from others or observed. You can create your own. But the benefit of ritual is that that is what speaks to the subconscious mind best. So if you want to live in a higher frequency, the ritual, in other words, the same process that you do over and over again that honors your intention and spirit is very powerful. So let me give you an example of some of my rituals that I have had used since I was a child, over 50 years, well over 50 years. The first is I start every morning. I sit up in bed and I say, thank you for 10 things out loud. Thank you that I'm sitting up. Thank you that I have a glass of water next to me. Thank you that I got through the night without being interrupted too much, because we're all being interrupted. Thank you for this beautiful day ahead of me. Thank you for the faculties that I'm possessing. And I just say out loud, because that opens the gateway for me of the frequency I want to be in during the day. And I was taught these rituals by my teachers along the way, but this one was my mom. She taught me that because she went through so much as a child that she said we need to be grateful and make no assumptions. One day she was a child in a beautiful life, and the next day she was caught in a war, and the next thing you know, she's a prisoner of war, and it goes on. So thank you that in this moment, I have this moment. So that's my first ritual. I also have the ritual of saying, I try to and tend to, I don't try, I actually do say thank you for 100 things a day out loud. I know I have a whole day ahead of me. So I stop, I'm walking, I'm at a red light waiting. I say, thank you. I look around. Thank you for this beautiful sky. Thank you for the lovely backdrop I'm in. Thank you that I just had the best cup of coffee. So it's a habit that's like an energetic sit-up that keeps me in high frequency and connected to my spirit, to my divine teachers, my creator, the divine mother, the angels, the guides, the helpers. It keeps me connected to the divine support system that makes my life quite magical. So after I get up, the first thing I do for my body is I drink water. I drink a glass of water. The way to stay intuitively connected is that you need to be hydrated. So a glass of water before a cup of coffee or tea or whatever, a glass of water just hydrates, and water represents the spirit. So I try to have my glass of water, and thank you that I have one. That's not a given for everybody. Next, I ask out loud. I set an intention and a directive. I do this every day. I have done it in my entire conscious life. I ask the divine spirit in me, move me in the direction of my highest good and the good for all that I connect with today. And that's interesting because I'll be walking down the street and all of a sudden I am compelled to turn, and then some miraculous interaction happens, some synchronicity, some conversation needed to happen. So the next thing is I pray for the flexibility to be movable. Give me the mental and physical flexibility to be movable, to go in the direction of my impulse, to speak up, step up, stand up, or walk away as I am moved to energetically instead of getting in my head and arguing. Another ritual that I love is that I keep an altar. I have an altar, I have many in my home. Let's see if I can show you back there. Way over there and up there, you can see in the corner, it's very vague, but just know I have one. And that altar is where I go every day and I make my requests. And one of the things I have on the altar, the things that speak to my heart. So I have a Divine Mother altar, I have an inner child altar, I have candles, I have pictures of my family, I have pictures of people who inspire me, I have poetry, I have symbols of my life. For example, years ago, I walked the Camino de Santiago, which is this incredible life-changing pilgrimage. I wrote a book about it called Walking Home. I ring a bell. I have a bell on that altar, and I ring a bell and I say, good morning, guides, good morning, angels, good morning, helpers, good morning, God. I'm a theist, I believe. I just talk to God. You can say, good morning, universe. Thank you for helping me today. Thank you in advance. I know I'm going to have a good day because you're helping me. But that bell is a big ritual for me. I carry it with me. It's just a tiny thing. In fact, the bell broke the other day. The top of the bell broke off. It wasn't an expensive bell. So I'll get another one which tells me that a new cycle is coming, and that bell was for an old cycle and to get a new cycle. So I am ordering a new bell. Other rituals that I have is I always pray before I eat. I don't make a big deal about it, but I like to pray and bless my food. I rub my hands and hold my hands over and say, thank you for nourishing my body and spirit. And thank you for whatever energy is in here. If it's made from love, I receive it. If it doesn't have love in it, I cut the cord and remove it so that what I'm nourishing my body with is of the highest vibration. Now, I personally don't think you should make a big deal about that, but if it's something you enjoy, go for it. When I grew up, when my mom was alive, whenever we ate, I don't care if it was a piece of toast, she had us all hold hands and she'd say, thank you for this delicious sustenance, this food, and thank you for the hand I hold and the holiness in it. I still do that. Another ritual that I have that's important is these are things that just all rituals keep going back to acknowledging the spirit, acknowledging the divine, acknowledging and calling in the divine to be a part of your life. I have a ritual of every 90 days doing an energetic purge or a cleanse. And now we just had the huge invitation of the September purge, the full moon, the lunar eclipse, the 999 portal purge. But I learned from my teachers that everything has energy. And if that energy doesn't uplift you, it's taking energy from you. So I scan often and really with a lot of ruthlessness, and I move things on that do not give me energy. In fact, this week I went and I bought a new dress. I'm very impulsive. I was in the store in Paris. This fun dress. I bought it. It was cute. It was colorful. It was fun. Brought it home, put it on the chair. Had every intention of wearing it. But after 2 or 3 days, and I walked by it, it didn't give me energy. The fun in the store didn't carry home. The bright energy didn't carry with me. So I took it back. I didn't even explain. I just said it wasn't my vibe. Someone says, why are you returning? I said, you know what? It's beautiful, but it wasn't my vibe. So give yourself permission to not only trust and sense your vibes, but act on them. And you don't have to explain. That is a very important thing. That's another way to live as in the fifth dimension. Fourth dimension, third dimension is always saying, I don't know why, I have to explain, I can't find out, I can't. But in the fifth dimension, I know why my spirit said do this, so that's the end of it. I'm doing it. The other thing that is very much a part of my life is to verbally say thank you. I like to say thank you because people, especially to people, and I mean a real, you feel it from my heart to your heart, thank you, because most people feel invisible. They don't feel witnessed. They don't feel valued. They feel a lot of shame. They feel beaten down. And how's your spirit? That's another one. Or your spirit is so beautiful today. And thank you. It brightened up my day. Thank you. You brightened up my day. I say that to taxi drivers. I say that to store clerks. I say it to the lady at the bakery. I just say it. And a lot of times I get weird looks like, what's her deal? But I don't care. It still is a good vibe. So one of my rituals is what I call be a good fairy. Spread good vibes because it's very self-interested. The more good vibes you put out there, the more they come sprinkling back, guaranteed. I guess the biggest thing about this is we'll move off of rituals and into other things, but have these as anchors in your life and in your day that keep bringing you up and up. And if you fumble into lower vibe, you come back. And then the other way to live in spirit is to, instead of going into fear and panic, go into prayer. Just say, I need help here. Ask for help. Instead of fear and panic, where it gets you agitated and defensive and shut down and want to run away, pause and breathe and just say, help. I need some help here, but it won't help you. You won't get help unless you have room in your consciousness that you'll receive help. This is just another lesson I learned from my mom. She used to say every day, we're going to have a lot of help today, and I'm really excited to discover how it will show up. She presented it as a game and as some wonderful presents are coming our way. We don't know how. And even when there was a problem, she'd say, well, problems are the sport of life. And solving them and having universe help you is the game. It's the fun. So you can reframe things that are in a way that the universe is helping me, working for me. The obstacles are opportunities to grow. They are not sabotage. I'm not getting smacked down, but I might be invited to be present. So if you run into an obstacle, you run into trouble, and a lot of us will, that's how we grow. We don't frame it as, what am I doing wrong? You frame it as someone in the fifth dimension is, what is the opportunity? I hear, obviously, I'm ready to grow some more. Universe is giving me an invitation to step up some more. How exciting. I'm ready. It's a yes and mental attitude and an open heart. I talked to a client today I've been mentoring, and he said, I'm just so frustrated because my kids are now, they're set, they're in school. I don't know what to do because he's homeschooling them and they're traveling. And he said, I can't figure out what to do, how to make money. I can't figure out how to be valuable. And so that tells you you're really stuck in the third dimension by the words, what? Figure out. Figure out is a third dimension, fear-based ego exercise that drains you and leaves you feeling out of control and frustrated. The spirit is, I wonder. That's the open door to the fifth dimension. I wonder what I can create today that's good. I wonder what I can involve myself in that's creative and that helps me feel more connected to my spirit and more connected to the spirit of others and more connected to the planet and more connected to my creator. I wonder. And the other thing about a fifth dimension person is we don't have rigid thoughts about who we are. Open your mind about who you are. My teachers say, and Joachim says, and I've heard this my whole life, never assume you know anyone, including yourself, completely. Always be open to surprise. Now, here's an example of that. I have a very good friend that years ago, in an intuitive reading, she subsequently became a friend, but this was when we first met. I said, your guides are pointing out that you're a beautiful musician. And she said, not me, that's my brother. I said, no, your brother may also have that beautiful connection, but this belongs to you. And she said, no, I'm the writer, not the musician. And so I thought, you've shut yourself off from this whole surge that's trying to come through of your own multifaceted, multidimensional, beautiful, talented self. So I said, well, just get a little piano, just try it. So she started with a baby kid's piano, dink a dink a dink. And then she went to what you get at like one of the music stores, like a keyboard. But it kept growing until eventually she hired a piano teacher, then bought a real piano, and then she started composing beautiful musicals that she wrote and then put music to. And it was a process over years, but it was her joy. And that's how you live as a fifth dimension. You never say no to anything that your spirit is saying yes to. Don't fight with your spirit. Say, okay, this is new, show me, but don't say no way. It's another ritual of living in the fifth dimension. Then one more for just today, and that is ask for direction. Not just help, ask for direction. Guide me, intuitively guide me, instead of getting in my head and figuring it out. Guide me, which goes back to the ritual from the morning. Move me in the direction of my highest good. Guide me. Give me a sign. Give me a symbol. Give me something that lets me know. Let me feel it. Give me a dream. Talk to the universe like you're talking to your best friend. Talk to your angels, your guides, your creator, the divine mother, the healing helpers. There's a whole world out there in the spirit frequencies that wants to help you. It's so loving and joyful. So just be that person who says, well, I don't care if you think I'm woo-woo weirdo or what. It works for me. I'm talking to the higher dimensions and they're talking back, not through words, through vibration, through feeling, through heart surges. And it's very comfortable and happy for me. So we're going to continue these conversations about how to actually integrate all this divine awakening into your daily life. So put in the comments below which of these rituals that I've shared appeal to you, but also please share your own rituals with the community. If it speaks to you, it's perfect. There's no right or wrong, there's just your way. So share your way because that's how we help each other. Share your way because that's how we all rise together. And the most important takeaway from this is don't argue with your spirit. Say yes, thank you. Okay, thanks for tuning in. If you love this, which I hope you did, please not only give me a thumbs up, but subscribe, leave a comment, tell your friends, bring people. Let's have this ascension experience together. And I will see you next week. All my love.